Often the biggest frustration that I hear from people is that they put so much time and energy into earning these points, and then they're frustrated because they can't actually use them on flights that they want. You see, it could take months to build up a decent enough points balance to be able to use them on international flights. So it's very frustrating when you actually have that balance and you go to the Qantas website and you can't even use the points that you've earned. If that sounds like you, you'll want to pay attention to today's video as I take you through step-by-step different methods that can increase your chances at finding reward seats. I'm going to start with the most classic way to go about searching the Qantas website and then take you through more and more advanced techniques as the video goes on, and you'll see with every single step we add, more and more reward seats appear. So if that sounds good, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so it lets me know that these sort of videos are helpful to you. And with that in mind, let's get straight into it. So the first thing I wanted to discuss is how most people search the Qantas website. If you've got Qantas points and you're looking for a flight, most people just jump onto Qantas, then type in their destination. For example, for today's video, I'm going to use Sydney to Los Angeles. So they would type in Sydney to Los Angeles, and then they'll select their cabin class. So let's say we were looking for a business class reward seat from Sydney to Los Angeles. They would then go ahead and click on the dates calendar. Now, the really good thing about this classic search tool is it's actually going to show us pretty quickly all of the classic reward availability for the entire year. You can scroll all the way through the entire calendar year and you'll just want to look for these little red ribbons. These are showing the classic reward rates. The classic reward rates are the heavily discounted flights. For example, for Sydney to Los Angeles, you'll pay about 108,000 Qantas points, as opposed to these blue little ribbons, you're going to pay around 400,000 to 500,000 Qantas points for the same flight. Now, this classic search tool is amazing to use, but there is one big drawback. And that is that it only works for flights departing from Australia. You won't be able to get this preview calendar screen where it shows you all of the different types of ribbons if you're searching for flights arriving into Australia. In order to find reward seat availability for flights arriving into Australia, we'll want to move to the next tool, which is the multi-city search tool. To get to the multi-city search tool, when you're on the Qantas homepage, just click on the search bar and then you'll see multi-city. Select that and you can actually just put in a one-way flight. Something that is confusing is that this search is called multi-city search. So naturally you're thinking that you have to use it for multiple flights all connecting, but that's not the case. You can use this for just a one-way flight. For this example, Sydney to Los Angeles, when I type that in, you can see a whole month of calendar availability appears. And I can see these different ribbons here. These different ribbons indicate the different cabin availability. So the red is economy, the yellow is premium economy. This little gold ribbon here is for business class, and the silver ribbon here is for first class availability. Good news is you can search a whole month of calendar availability all at once, meaning you can search the entire calendar year across all different cabin classes in a matter of minutes. This is really handy because you can't do that with the classic search tool. You have to go through individual cabin classes and filter through that way. But with the multi-city search tool, you can see all of them at once. Now, say that we've gone through the classic search tool and the multi-city search tool and there was still no reward seats to America. What do we do then? From here, we can get a little bit creative. And what I mean by that is slightly changing our departing city. Say, for example, we were in Sydney and we wanted to go to Los Angeles. Perhaps we can search flights going from Melbourne or Brisbane flying into Los Angeles as well. It's very easy to get domestic flights within Australia from Sydney to Melbourne or Sydney to Brisbane, but what's often hard is getting that 14-hour lie-flat business class seat, because those flights are the ones that no one really wants to put up with being in economy. Another reason it's much easier getting flights domestically is because 1, there's so many more flights compared to the international flights, and 2, the redemption value is much better. So typically when you're redeeming your points on these domestic routes, you're going to be redeeming 1 point for about 2 to 3 cents worth of value. To put that in comparison, when we're getting these business class reward seats to America, we're typically redeeming 1 point for about 10 cents worth of value. So with that in mind, if we are open to flying from Melbourne or Brisbane to LA, how do we go about efficiently searching that? And we could just use the Qantas Classic Search tool or the Multi-City Search tool. But if we're searching 3 different routes, so Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne to Los Angeles, that is going to take a lot of time. A much more efficient way of doing that is by using this tool called seats.aero. Seats.aero is an amazing tool. It pretty much just scans all of the data on the airline's website scrapes that data and gives it to you in a nice, easy, condensed way, so you can filter through business class reward availability and also through dates. Now you can see here I've typed in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane to Los Angeles, and I can filter through business class reward availability first and then also via date second. I've only got limited flights showing here just because that's all that could fit in the screen capture. But you can see here that we have increased the amount of reward flights to Los Angeles that have appeared. There's one here on the 12th flying from Brisbane that there otherwise wouldn't have been flying from Sydney. So just by getting slightly creative and changing our departing city from Australia into Los Angeles, we can create more reward seat availability. We can then go a step further and change our arrival city from Los Angeles to nearby cities as well. So maybe we look for flights arriving into San Francisco, Los Angeles, Dallas, maybe even JFK in New York. So now we have multiple route options. We have Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne flying into Los Angeles, San Francisco, Dallas, or JFK. And you can see here just by tweaking those cities, we've added in another flight here, and those Brisbane flights that we previously talked about. Now, something you'll notice is that even though we have maximized our reward availability findings doing these methods, something you'll very quickly find out is that there really aren't too many reward flights on this route. It is getting increasingly frustrating having Qantas points exclusively because they just don't release too many reward seats in comparison to what other airlines do. If you've been following this channel for a little while, you've probably heard me talk about the importance of earning other frequent flyer membership points. It is just not good enough to exclusively be earning Qantas points in 2025, as you're making this whole process a lot harder than it has to be. You can see here if we have access to different airline programs. For this example, I'm talking about Velocity points. Our availability to America completely opens up. Velocity have a key partner with United Airlines, and they have plenty of reward seats, a lot more reward seat availability in business class compared to what Qantas offer. They also have multiple routes as well. So if we keep our departing and arriving cities quite flexible with Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Los Angeles, San Francisco, you can see just how many flights we have available. Now, there's actually a lot more here, but this is all that the screen could capture. So far, to increase our chances at actually getting a flight to America with points, what we've done is we've went from the classic search tool, we've went to the multi-city search tool to see all cabin availability. We've then gone from the multi-city search tool and we've expanded our route options by being flexible with our departing city. We've then been flexible with our arrival city as well and used seats.aero to search that whole Qantas website very quickly. We've then hopefully got access to the Velocity frequent flyer program as well and really opened up our reward seat availability. But there is one final step we can do to really increase our chances at getting a reward seat to America. Now, I am talking about this in almost every single video, and that is the importance of earning membership points you can transfer to lots of different airlines. Now, I have made a video about this before, but if you are able to earn membership points that you can transfer to Marriott Bonvoy, you'll actually be able to transfer your Marriott Bonvoy points to lots of different airline programs. The key airline programs that we're talking about on this America route are going to be American Airlines and United Airlines. American and United are going to have their own reward seat availability on their own frequent flyer program that won't appear on the Qantas or Velocity website. Now, in order to access them, you'll want to have Marriott Bonvoy points and transfer those points to American or United. If you have access to these programs, you're going to really increase your chances at getting a reward seat across Qantas, Velocity, American, and United. I have made a separate video on how you can get Marriott Bonvoy points and then how you can transfer them to these airlines. If you do want to watch that, I'll leave that video in the video description. And if you want to learn every single thing that I know about earning and redeeming points, also check out the link in the description as well. If you need more help with this sort of stuff, just leave a comment letting me know. Other than that, I will see you in the next video.